Hi guys, Brett from Lead Industries Custom Shop. Today I'm doing a little bit of panel beating that a lot of you Commodore guys love to do, and it's we're actually going to remove this little dent out of the front quarter panel. Now, I believe back in the early Commodores, when they used to have a 4-cylinder in some of these early girls, that was actually to clear an aircon bracket or something like that, and it just never got deleted as the range went through. So we're going to go through. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to show you how I do it, and we should be able to get it pretty well finished. So it doesn't really need any body filler. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to strip all the paint off this area. I'm going to strip it off the underside, and then we'll start panel beating. So let's get to it. Let's clean it up. Cool. All right, now that that's cleaned up, we'll move on to starting to dolly it out. Now, the reason I like to clean it all off, both sides, is because when you're hitting with a hammer, if there's anything underneath the hammer, it's going to push through the metal and leave a little dent on the other side or whatnot. So clean it up so you've got nice smooth sheet metal to start with. It's going to make your job a lot easier. So we're going to start panel beating it now, and most people would be tempted to just start hitting in the middle and driving that out. It's going to cause yourself all kinds of headache if you try and drive it out like that. So what we're going to do from the other side, we've got a slightly crowned panel beating hammer that I'm going to use, and I'm going to start on the outsides. Work my way around slowly, gradually getting in closer and closer and closer until we pull the whole thing out. So I'm going to duck underneath the guard, and I'm going to start gently beating that out. There we go. Now this is the hammer I like to use. I'll come a little bit closer so you can see it. As you can see here, I've got a slight little crown on that one, which is going to follow the curves of our panel. Now we've got it pretty close. There's still a few dimples and whatnot there. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to throw the dolly behind it, and because we actually want that to come up a little bit higher, we're going to need to stretch some of that panel. So we're actually going to use a little bit of a technique called hammer on dolly, because we want to actually stretch. So if you're using a dolly on one side and you're hitting on the dolly like that, that's called hammer on dolly. What's that's going to do is it's actually going to stretch your metal. So I'm going to change from the high crown here now to a more flat head, and I'm going to use a little bit of hammer on dolly and gently straighten all that back out. you could hear that on the camera, but could you hear the different tone when I was hitting then? A couple of them were dull and all of a sudden we heard a sharp tap. So when I'm hitting and it's dull, it means we're high of the dolly there. We haven't actually contacted on the dolly. So just something to keep in mind, so you'll know when you actually got it down to where the dolly is and when you start to stretch. We're pretty close there, it's not too bad. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a slap with the little slapping hammer, or slapping spoon, whatever we want to call it. It's a little bit wider surface and it's going to help to flatten it out a little bit more. there, she's pretty close. We're going to hit it with the file in a minute so we can see where our highs and lows are. It's important that you don't get hit too hard. We are having on the dolly at the moment, which is stretching metal. So not too hard, but a little bit of stretch. The whole point of using the file is not actually to remove a great deal of material, basically just to mark the highs so we can see where we need to make adjustments. It actually looks pretty good, to be honest. Yeah, just a touch there. Little slap out. Up. Alright guys, there we have it. Not sure exactly how long that took. probably be less than half an hour, and we've managed to push that out pretty good now. I could have spent a little bit more time on it and got it exactly perfect and completely fire finished it, but at the end of the day, that is only going to need a little bit of high fill in it. So I'll grab the camera, I'll move it closer so you can have a better look. As you can see, now there's just a couple of tiny little low spots through there. A couple of tiny little ones there. If I spend a little bit more time, I can get them perfect. But overall, that took just on half an hour, and that dent's gone from start to finish. So I hope you guys found that helpful for anyone who wants to have a go themselves. Just remember, when you're starting to push that back out, start on your edges and work your way through to the middle. With these Commodore ones in particular, just pushing it out is not quite enough. You do need to stretch a little bit of material through here to get it all the way out. So a bit of hammer on dolly so that you can stretch the sheet metal. Just take your time. Don't hit too hard. Just gently does it, and you should end up with a nice smooth quarter panel like that. Or inner guard, I should say, not quarter panel. But if you'd like to see a few more tips and tricks, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. It just helps me to stay motivated to keep doing it. The more numbers I see in there, the more eager I am to donate my time to make these videos. So if you enjoyed, like I said, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget, check out our Facebook page and our Instagram page. I'm constantly putting stuff up on there. As I'm doing it, it all goes up onto there. I'm also on Snapchat, so Wicked Industries Custom Shop, guys. Check it out. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Thank you.